It's time for another Southern California housing market update where we cover the single family sales, multifamily sales, and
median home price madness.
that's right. Thank you, Gigi. Go do your homework. Hey there, Christian Walsh, real estate agent with Wire Associates, and we've been there since the beginning, helping buyers and sellers make the best decisions in this crazy housing market. And we're here with another 2-week update. We are going to run through the March 2022 numbers. Not only is it spring buying, selling season, and we should see that in the numbers, but we also had a dramatic increase in interest rates, almost a full percentage point in the month of March 2022. A market update wouldn't be complete without talking about interest rates. Mortgage interest rates have gone up 1.5%, 1.5% in the past 3 months, which it hasn't done since May of 1994. So this is from our buddies at Freddie Mac. They're going to show us where interest rates are, and you can see they were down below 3, and then this year things suddenly changed, and very quickly. Now here's a quick reminder of what happened last time interest rates were flirting with 5%, and these charts show you exactly what happened when interest rates hit almost 5% in November of 2018. You can see the red line, the new listings increased, more sellers put their properties on the market, and you can see the white line, the number of properties that went under contract, that dipped to a low. And we can see LA, same thing, and look at that huge difference in LA in 2018. Interest rates hit 5%, and it can change the market. Now, after November 2018, they dropped from there and the market stabilized. Now, of course, just because we're close to 5 doesn't mean we're going to continue to go up. Rates could drop. So we're definitely going to keep an eye on what happens and how this affects sales. That's why you need to be subscribed to this channel, and you need to be getting these updates every 2 weeks so you can see what happens. It is not going to help to wait for the Case-Shiller Index, 2 months old data. It'll be way too late by then to see exactly what the effect is from interest rates. Let's dive into the data. If you're as excited as me, hit that like button, but only hit it once. Don't hit it twice because that turns it back off. So here we go, and you will immediately notice a massive drop in the number of properties going under contract and the number of listings in a March in 2020. And why is that? Well, of course, that's COVID. I was talking to somebody today about March of 2020, and they reminded me that was a full 2 years ago. And that's what's unbelievable to me. Why that's also relevant in our chart is we can see I put in 2018 and 2019. Those are normal markets. 2020, not a normal market. 2021, not a normal market for a different reason. 2022, that's what you're here for, and it is an interesting time. We thought it was tough last spring buying season. You can see that it's even tighter here. Now we do see that pending sales are up. They're not at a record high like 2021, but in 2021, when we had all those properties going under contract, we had more inventory. This is the challenge. And what I think is also leading to fewer properties going under contract, there's plenty of demand, but there's not enough inventory. So that is going to lead to a drop in the number of properties going under contract and a drop in the sales. So when people say, oh no, the market's tanking, look, things are dropping. Well, no, there's not enough to buy as part of the problem. They could be dropping, but it's too early to tell. And if we look at the number of properties going under contract, it's still at a record high compared to 2018 and 2019 and 2020. Los Angeles, we have a similar tale, and it's a tale of not enough inventory. We've been watching as the number of new listings and the number of properties going under contract is getting closer and closer. And you can see that the number of properties under contract is at a record high, except for 2021 when we had an even hotter market. But with that gap between the number of new listings and number of properties under contract, it is tighter this year than it was last year and than it was in years past. So this spring buying selling season is even tougher for buyers, and those are the stories that we're hearing out there and we're experiencing out there. Moving on into Riverside, again, another hot market. Not quite as hot as 2021 from the number of properties going under contract, but way hotter than years past. So this is still a very strong seller's market in Riverside County. San Bernardino, another solid market. What's interesting is the number of properties under contract. It's actually a little bit lower than 2018 when we look at the numbers for 2022 and 2021 at this time of year. But look at the number of listings they had at the time. That makes a huge difference. So while the number of properties may be slightly lower with the level of listings we see, this is what creates the frenzy in the marketplace. And Ventura County moving to its own drum often, as we've been running numbers for it. It does have the fewest number of properties of all the counties that we cover, and the numbers tend to be more volatile. There have been times where it started to look like things were maybe shifting there, and maybe it was going to be a bellwether for things to come in other counties. But it wasn't. Nothing happened. We can see that pending sales are down, especially when you compare to 2021. That looked like more of a frenzied market. Should be a little bit of a cooler market in 2022 this spring, but still a tough market for buyers, particularly for well-priced properties. And finally, San Diego, we can see that the number of listings has continued to trend down, way down, and while the escrows continue. So this is another example, like Orange County and LA, where this year in 2022 feels like an even tougher market because of the tightness between the number of new listings and the number of properties under contract. There is your single family real estate update for Southern California. This is one of the few places you're going to get multifamily data, and this is a chart with everything that's 2 units and bigger in the respective counties. Orange County, crazy market. It's been crazy. 2020, obviously, COVID did kill the market for single family and multifamily. You can see the dip in listings and the dip in properties going under contract. But it's rallied back, and you can see pending sales are crazy. The close number of new listings to pending sales for Orange County multifamily means it's a crazy seller's market for multifamily. Moving into Los Angeles continues to remain a solid market despite the fact that it's been under eviction moratorium. Now, AB 2179 was just passed. I've done plenty of content on that. That is changing things related to the LA County eviction moratorium, and that's just starting. So in April, it's changing things. We're not going to see it in the March numbers. So these numbers you're looking at, LA County and City, we're still under eviction moratorium, and you see this solid number of properties going under contract. A record high other than 2021 going back. So a solid multifamily market. Tough to find good inventory in LA right now. In fact, if you have any good inventory, reach out to us. We have a great agent we've been working with in Los Angeles, particularly for multifamily. Let us know. We can get you top dollar. Riverside continues to be a strong market. You can see the number of pending sales has gone through the roof. They've had that twist, and it's been like that for a while. Riverside tends to be a more affordable market for investors, higher cap rates. They get a better return on investment there. So this is why you're seeing these strong numbers. San Bernardino, another more affordable and higher rate of return market when there's inventory, and you can see inventory is down, and we have a solid number of properties under contract. Those are close together. So another market where it's tough to find good inventory. In Ventura, not many buildings trade just because there aren't that many buildings in general. There aren't as many properties in Ventura, but we can see it's a solid market, and you can see that it's been consistent on the number of properties going under contract. In fact, interestingly, 2020, it bucked the trend. Now, there's not much data here, so that's hardly relevant, but it bucked the trend that other areas had related to the number of properties going under contract. In San Diego, another hot one, you can see listings are up actually, and pretty solid compared to years past. And look at the 2020 drop in the number of properties under contract. Crazy what COVID did, but it's since rallied back. We're at a record high of number of properties under contract in San Diego. There is your multifamily market update, and if you're a landlord who is itching to sell, do a 1031 exchange, make sure you reach out to us because we have some ideas for you. Turning to median home price, let's see exactly what happened, and I don't know if there's going to be any surprises here, but it is up yet again for the month of March. So you can see that we have yet another increase. In Orange County, we've hit an absolute new peak for single family condos and townhomes of $1,050,000 for the median home price. Year over year, that is 23.4%. It is crazy, these increases that we're seeing. LA is at 870 now. That's a 12.3% increase year over year. Riverside, almost 600,000 for a almost 22% increase year over year. Now, I do expect that these increases are going to level off. I've been saying it for a while that they need to. We did have some usual seasonal decreases. We saw that. But now we're back up to these peaks. The peaks continue. Month over month, we can see the big increase. And year over year, these are crazy increases. We do expect that at some point in time, interest rate increases are going to help moderate the increase in prices that we're seeing. But with the low inventory and the demand still high, that's what we're seeing is these big increases. And the rest of the Southern California counties we cover, median home prices are also up. And we see that San Diego surpassed Ventura. They passed each other. They've been racing against each other, and finally, looks like San Diego took off. San Bernardino, 500,000. That's a 15% year-over-year increase. Ventura, about a 14% year-over-year increase. San Diego, 21.4% year-over-year increase. What will be interesting to see is what happens in the April median home price and the April numbers, because that's where we'll see the effect of that almost 1% increase we've had in March. And we'll see if it continues to go up in April, what that does to the market. This is a pivoting point, a turning point in the market that we have right now. Let us know in the comments below where you think the housing market is headed. Are we at the beginning of the end, or the end of the beginning, or somewhere in between? If you haven't already, you are missing out. Make sure you subscribe to our free weekly email newsletter so you don't miss a single update in this crazy market. There's a link above and there's a link below so you can sign up. And make sure you check out this playlist right here where we cover exactly what's going on in the housing market. Thanks for tuning in. This has been Christian Walsh, real estate agent with Wire Associates, and we want to hear from you.